Unless you've been living under a rock for the past 2 or 3 years, you've probably been bombarded with content regarding AI, artificial intelligence, and how it's taking over, right? And the reason why that's become so mainstream is because AI is literally revolutionizing industries and markets right in front of our eyes. And this is relevant to you if you're a current business owner or you're an aspiring one. And the reason why is because every single business that doesn't implement AI within the near future will literally be left behind. And I don't say this because it's my opinion. Let's literally take a real life example from history and let's take a look at the printing press, right? If we think back to the billion-dollar industry that was born through printing, it literally disintegrated within a few decades through the invention of digital media. Why did that happen? That simply happened because digital media was better. It was more efficient. It was a better way of delivering content and capturing the audience's attention. It's the exact same thing with AI. So we are now in a pivotal point in history where you're watching the world revolutionize in front of your eyes, and that's where your job as a business owner or an aspiring one is to implement AI as soon as possible so that you're not left behind like the printing companies were. Which is exactly why in this video, I'm going to be showing you 3 AI systems that every business needs in 2024. And these are systems that either my company ScaleFuse implemented in our own processes or implemented for our clients. First being AI content creation. And as you probably know, the digital currency nowadays is no longer the US dollar, and the world's global currency has turned into attention. Because if you have attention, then you can sell something to your audience, and that's where you can monetize and make money. And you're probably wondering, why would I create content with AI? Why don't I just do it myself? It's actually super simple. If you look at it from a time standpoint, the time it takes you to come up with ideas, draft them, script them, so on and so forth, it can be hours per content piece. And that can be literally shaved down to minutes if you use AI. So that's the first reason. Now, the second reason is going to be consistency, right? Because AI does not make mistakes. It's literally code. So there's no I forgot, there's no I got lazy. If you set an automation to trigger on a weekly basis, in this case, let's say content creation, every single week content will be created, right? So that's the second reason. Now, the third reason is going to be increased output. Obviously, if you have a system that produces content for you weekly, you can literally just crank up the system whenever you want, and you can produce hundreds of pieces of content a day if you want. And lastly, creative inspiration. Obviously, every single human is creative in some way, shape, or form. But the thing is, we don't have millions and millions of data points to go ahead and select from when we're prompted to do something when AI actually does. That's exactly why you want to leverage the database AI has, and you want to come up with ideas through AI that you didn't even think existed in the first place. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I automate and systemize something like content creation? So I'm going to give you a perfect example of doing tweets on autopilot through AI on a weekly basis. And it's not just going to be a random AI generated response. It's going to be based off of your previous messages so that it sounds just like you. Now, the first step of doing this is going to be to input previous content, right? Let's say you've been tweeting for the last 2 months. You've got a good set of tweets on your profile. You want to copy all of that and feed dozens of your past tweets into ChatGPT, and you want to instruct it to write a tweet specifically based on that data. So what that does is it gives the AI context, right? What do you sound like? What's your style of writing? What's your tonality when you're writing? So on and so forth. And the more data you provide, the more accurate and personalized the AI generated content will be. So if you do this properly, and I've tested this, the output from the AI, which is the tweet, will literally be human generated when it's tested. You can take this to GPT-0 or any AI detector, and the response literally will look like it's human, and even AI can't detect that it's AI generated just because you fed it data in the first place. Then the tweet is going to get generated, and again, you can get as creative as you'd like here, but for example, you can tell the AI to specifically write tweets about innovative ways to help clients in your niche, right? Maybe you're a motivational speaker and you want your tweets to be motivating, etc. Your prompt should basically tell the AI who to be, what to think about, and what to do / not do when drafting your content. And when I say what not to do, for example, you may be a marketing agency and you might want the AI to not output a tweet that you've outputted in the past so that it's constantly innovative, right? So again, get as creative as you'd like. You could tell it whatever you want it to do. Then you want to create a draft tweet. Again, there's 2 ways to go about this. One is you can automatically post the tweet. Like once the AI comes up with this, you can set up a workflow that automatically posts the tweet on Twitter or x.com. Or, which is what I prefer, is drafting the tweet for review. Obviously, quality over quantity, and quality is priority, which is exactly why if you have a project management tool like Asana, for example, you can literally create a task for yourself, to go ahead and post a tweet and have the description of the task in your project management tool tell you what the tweet is. I use content creation systems in Asana to where I know, okay, on Monday I need a film, on Tuesday I need a video to be edited by my editor, so on and so forth. So now every single Tuesday when my tweet gets generated by AI, I look at my to-do list and I literally see a task in there with the tweet already ready and done to be posted. Now, of course, you're going to review it. So you want to make any minor edits if needed and post the tweet in seconds, right? Again, you're not sitting there and coming up with the idea from scratch, writing it, figuring out vocabulary. You're literally looking at a tweet that already exists, maybe changing a few dots, maybe changing the formatting, a word or two, bolds, things like that. And again, you can also use the system to post any type of content for any other platform. Facebook, LinkedIn, even Instagram descriptions or YouTube comments or whatever you'd like, you can get creative and utilize the system for. So this is what the workflow could look like. Again, this is using a tool called make.com to build the workflows, but you would have ChatGPT integrate with Asana so that this could be a seamless process. Now, the next system that I want to show you is going to be an AI autoresponder system for customer inquiries. And this is relevant, again, if you're a business owner or you're aspiring to be one, because regardless, you're going to be getting emails and you're going to be getting questions. Now, what if I told you you can literally use AI to read the response or the email that you received from a customer, respond back with a tailored message within a second without you lifting a finger? This is super important because it just has less room for human error, right? Humans forget, they get busy, or they're simply just not in the mood sometimes to respond within minutes, read a response, craft a customized one, so on and so forth. And that's where AI just becomes superior because it works all day. And even outside business hours, it can literally send emails for you. And again, you don't have to make it so the emails go instantly, right? The systems that I build at ScaleFuse for our customers, we usually have a delay there, like a 2-minute delay or a 3-minute delay on the email responses so that they seem natural. But it's completely up to you. Regardless, it's going to provide a better customer perception. And the reason why is because these are accurate responses that are quick and they go to your customers, imagine 2 minutes after they fill out a form, telling them details of their response back in the email, letting them know to book a call or letting them know that you'll be reaching out soon, right? Let's say, you're a marketing agency and you had a local bakery reach out for marketing services. In your form on your website, a question could be, what's your website link? You can literally have AI go and scrape that website, see what they sell at the bakery, include that in the response that you sent to them in the email, so the baker now literally thinks you read the email and responded in 2 minutes when you weren't even there in the first place. So super important. You're again probably wondering, how do we actually implement this into a proper workflow? It's very simple. You have a form submission usually that could be your contact us page on your website or your lead magnet or wherever you're running ads or getting traffic from. When the prospect fills out a form on your website with their inquiry, including like the nature of their business, what they want, etc., you then can process it with AI. So ChatGPT analyzes the inquiry and it generates a personalized response specifically based on the data in the form. Gave you the bakery example that is a perfect example of doing so. The automated email is then sent to the prospect within minutes and it addresses their needs and wants. Depending on what questions you have in the form, you can get this to respond however you want it to. And usually I like to have the email prompt the customer to book a call, right? Usually that's a lead that you have come in, and most businesses nowadays require a book a call system to close high ticket deals. So if you want to be able to do that, you want to prompt them to schedule a call, and the AI can do that by leveraging the data they gave you in the form fill out. Lastly, you can have the system include a follow-up step. So let's say that customer or that prospect never actually booked a call. You can have a logic that literally makes it so that they get another email or more follow-ups if they end up not booking a call, just to make sure you minimize the leakage in your business. Now, the third system that I want to show you is an AI meeting summarizer. And this could be super helpful for sales calls or for, let's say, onboarding calls when you meet with a customer and you want them to get a summary of the meeting and like a list of actionable steps to do after the meeting, all on autopilot based off of what happened on the meeting. So what are the benefits of doing this? Obviously, there's no manual note taking. You're not going to have to take notes, and the customer won't have to take notes either. So they could be fully focused on the call just like you. You can also capture literally all the important details. There's, again, very little error in general because there's no human input in here when it comes to the summarizing, and nothing can be missed because the AI will literally take a transcript of the meeting and package it into a summary, then send it to the customer after the call is done. Again, it also eliminates repetitive client questions. A lot of the times you're going to get clients asking you all sorts of questions that you probably answered 4 times on the onboarding call, but they just forget, right? So they didn't have a reference point, and this eliminates that through the email. And you can also provide clients with clear information on what they need to do through an actionable step-by-step list. Usually at the end of your onboarding call or your sales meeting, there's some type of next steps that you talk about before getting off. That could be booking another call with you. That could be, using some type of feature in your software or whatever you're selling. And that's exactly what the AI will listen in on, capture, and include in the summary that it sends in the email. Now, the way you're going to implement this is you want to have a system that triggers based off of a call recording, right? So this could be a Zoom module where it's going to watch and listen in on any type of recording that begins. And when that recording is completed, and usually you want to record to cloud so that this is all accessible online, it's going to actually integrate with GPT. So GPT is not necessarily going to access the actual video. It'll just pull the transcript of your meeting, which Zoom will provide, and then it'll automatically just summarize the entire meeting, and it'll create the email, right? So it'll extract the next steps, it'll extract any important details or highlights that happened during the meeting, and it'll just make sure that the email is professional, it's relevant to the context of whatever you're selling, and you can get super creative. You can tell it how to write the email, what not to say, what to say, so on and so forth. And then lastly, it'll automatically send the summary. You don't even have to review this if you don't want to. You can, of course, turn this into a draft step where instead of it sending an email, maybe it creates a draft in your email inbox and then you go ahead and send it after you review it or edit a few things. I think this is super okay to just automatically send to the customer, because the only thing that the AI can actually include in the summary is things that happened on the meeting if you engineer the prompt or what you tell the AI to do correctly. Now, I know I went over this at a very high level overview, but believe me, if you just dedicated a week or two to just genuinely learning exactly how to set up these systems for your business, you definitely can. But if you want to cut past the trouble and you want us to just come in and install these systems for you, then you could go ahead and schedule a call with the link in the description that will go to a free consultation, literally directly with me, not a sales rep or anything like that. And then it'll actually allow me to see if these systems make sense for you and your business in the first place, or the business that you're looking to launch. And if it does make sense, we'll begin building the system specifically for you. Again, these are not going to be productized, which means we'll cater it to your needs, and we will deliver within 24 hours or less. Now, because all of our systems are personalized, we literally guarantee that they're going to work for you or you don't pay a single dollar. If that sounds fair, I'll see you on a call sometime soon. And if not, just stay tuned for more uploads. I'll be continuously giving you new ideas and new ways to implement AI in your business and automate your processes to save time and make more money.